My mom was a pianist. She did music in college, and so growing up there was always music. And I was like, yeah, I want to do that. But I didn't really want to do that. Like, I didn't want to practice. I liked the idea of playing, but I didn't like carrying it out. But I would still kind of tootle, and I would figure things out by ear, and I could read notes and all that. Then when I was 12, I wanted to play the violin. And so I asked my grandpa, he had this old violin that wouldn't have been usable anyway. But I wanted to borrow it, and so I asked him if I could, and he was like, yeah, as long as it's not a joke like piano. And I was like, I'll show you a joke. And so then I learned my first classical piece. My name is Rayna. I teach piano. I think that I just kind of fell into it, and then I stuck with it. I really like learning things by ear. And I used to just sit at my piano for hours, just trying to figure out a certain chord progression. And then it kind of took off from there. I started accompanying when I was in high school. And then I majored in classical piano in college. I've also done jazz. And here I am. I didn't know if I was gonna like teaching when I first got into it, but it's kind of like a puzzle, which is why I really like it, because every kid learns differently. And then when it clicks, and when they're actually oh, love that. My favorite thing to teach is pedal technique. I think it's so fun because the timing is so specific, right? And so first I'll start out by making the kid, because the hand goes down at the same time that the foot goes up. So I just make the kid sit there and do this. And I do that with them, and I think that that's kind of funny. And then I'll talk the kid through the steps of pedaling. And then I'll show them what pedaling early looks like and then what pedaling late looks like. And then I'll make them look in the piano, and I'll explain the mechanisms of why we pedal and what happens in the piano, and then why the timing has to be really precise. And then watching them get it, and then especially it makes such a big difference in the sound of what you're playing. And so then watching them do it correctly and then be oh, and I'm yeah, that's correct.